Commander Elias Carter had never felt so small. Floating in the cold, dark silence of space, his ship, the Horizon, seemed like a fragile toy against the vastness of the stars. Humanity had taken its first steps into deep space. And yet, here, he was far from Earth, facing something no human had ever seen before. The sensors aboard Horizon had detected a massive object orbiting a dying star in the Calyx system. At first it appeared to be a rock, just another chunk of space debris, but as they approached, its true nature emerged. It was a structure of impossible scale and strange design, smooth, shimmering surfaces intertwined with sharp edges, forming what looked like a cathedral in space. The architecture seemed alive, almost breathing, as if the structure itself watched them. "Commander, I don't like this," Lieutenant Mira Sanchez said, her voice tense over the comms. "There's no life signal, but this isn't natural. Something built this." Carter frowned. "Exactly. That's why we're here, Lieutenant. This could be the first proof of an advanced alien civilization. Keep scanners running." The crew stared in awe as the massive doors of the structure slowly opened, revealing an inner chamber glowing with soft blue light. Dust-like particles floated in the air, moving as though carried by an invisible wind. Carter felt a shiver run down his spine. Humanity had seen ruins before, on Earth and other planets, but nothing like this. Inside, the cathedral stretched endlessly upward. Colossal pillars covered in intricate glyphs reached toward a ceiling that seemed to disappear into darkness. Holographic projections shimmered along the walls, depicting scenes of alien beings that Carter could not comprehend. The beings looked regal with elongated limbs and glowing eyes. Some were in battle, others were gathered in ceremonies, and at the center of each projection, a figure stood above all, a queen, tall and majestic, crowned with light. "Commander," Sanchez whispered, "look at this. It's like a throne room, but no one's here." Carter nodded slowly. "Keep your eyes open. There could be traps, or occupants. We don't know." As they stepped further into the chamber, the air changed. It was heavier, warmer somehow, and filled with a sound they could not hear but somehow felt. Then they saw it. At the far end of the hall, a throne carved from some crystal-like material. And on that throne sat the most astonishing sight of all. A figure, immense and regal, frozen in stillness. The Queen. Her skin shimmered like liquid silver, and her eyes, closed in apparent sleep, seemed almost alive. She wore robes that flowed like water, and her presence was overwhelming. Carter could feel it, like standing before the sun itself. Every instinct in him screamed both fear and awe. "Commander," Sanchez said, voice trembling. She's alive. Or maybe, not exactly asleep, it's hard to explain." Carter swallowed hard. "Stay calm. Move slowly. We don't know what she, or anything else here, might do." He stepped closer, drawn as if by a magnetic force. When he was only a few meters away, something happened that defied every rule of logic. The Queen's eyes opened. They were enormous, luminous, and filled with a depth that Carter could not comprehend. Time seemed to slow. The crew froze, and then she spoke. Not in alien clicks or noises, but in a voice clear and soft, directly inside Carter's mind. "You are truly welcome." The words were simple, but they carried weight. Carter stumbled backward, nearly falling over. Did she just speak English?" he whispered. Sanchez stared, wide-eyed. I think so. Or at least, we understand her." Carter forced himself to stand straight. "This isn't possible. Humans. No one has ever met an alien like this. And she knows us." The Queen rose slowly from her throne, her movements graceful, almost hypnotic. The entire chamber seemed to hum with energy as she stepped toward him. Carter could feel her gaze drilling into his mind, yet instead of fear, there was a strange calm. It was as if she had been waiting, expecting him all along. "I have waited for you," she said again softly. "Long have I watched the stars, waiting for the new blood from the distant flame. You are it." Carter's mind raced. The new blood? What does she mean? Why would she choose humans? Sanchez's voice was barely audible. Commander, we should proceed carefully. We don't know her intentions. For all we know, she could be dangerous. Carter nodded, though his eyes never left the Queen. Something about her presence was different from anything they had ever encountered. Older alien civilizations were cold, calculating, indifferent to newcomers. But she welcomed them. Why me? Carter asked aloud, his voice shaking. Why humans? The Queen's gaze softened, and for the first time a faint smile curved her lips. Because your kind carries a fire others have lost. Courage, hope, determination. These are rare gifts in the galaxy. You have them, and you do not yet know your full potential. Carter swallowed, feeling a mix of pride and disbelief. I don't understand. We are just explorers. Ordinary humans. Ordinary? The Queen said, her voice firm yet gentle. Perhaps, but it is ordinary who change the world. Ordinary who rise to meet the impossible. You have been chosen because you are human, and that alone makes you extraordinary. The crew exchanged glances, unsure whether to trust the Queen or fear her. Yet none could deny the strange energy in the chamber, the undeniable truth in her words. Carter realized this was no ordinary encounter. Humanity was no longer a small, quiet species on a tiny planet. They had stepped into a galaxy older and larger than they could imagine, and something in this alien Queen recognized them. Come closer, she said, beckoning him. There is much to show you, much to understand. Your journey is only beginning. Carter took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Whatever lay ahead, humanity's first step into the wider galaxy was about to change forever. And in that cathedral in the void of space, under the gaze of an ancient, wise alien Queen, he felt something he had never felt before. Belonging. You are truly welcome, the Queen whispered once more. And for the first time, Elias Carter believed it. The hum of the cathedral seemed to follow them as Commander Elias Carter and his crew moved cautiously through the vast halls. Though their minds were still reeling from the Queen's words, the sense of awe and fear mingled with a growing curiosity. They had expected silence, emptiness, maybe danger, but not this. A living, breathing presence in the middle of the stars, speaking directly to them as if humans had been part of her plan all along. Lieutenant Mira Sanchez's fingers hovered over the scanner controls, her eyes scanning the chamber for hidden threats. Commander, these readings are strange. The energy levels here, they're off the charts, almost like the building itself is alive. Carter nodded. I can feel it too. There's something intelligent about this place. Not just the Queen. The whole structure seems aware of us. The Queen moved with grace that defied explanation. Every step she took seemed to leave a ripple in the soft blue light of the hall. Carter noticed the subtle patterns on the walls, changing as they passed, images shifting, morphing into new forms as if reacting to their presence. He felt the pull of something ancient, something much larger than himself or his crew. Commander Carter, the Queen spoke, her voice calm, yet commanding. You have questions and you deserve answers. But know this, truths are not always simple. Your species is young. The galaxy is older than you can imagine. Carter swallowed. Ma'am, Your Majesty, we've explored the outer systems, yes, but we've never met another intelligent civilization like this. Why humans? Why now? The Queen paused as if weighing each word carefully. Humans carry a fire that has long been lost among the stars. Other races have grown cautious, clever, patient, but fearful. You, though, you have curiosity and courage. You take risks. You see possibilities where others see walls. That is why you are here. That is why I welcome you, Sanchez whispered almost to herself. Do you think she means it? That she actually chose us? Carter didn't answer. He was too busy feeling the truth in her words. He had spent his life exploring, reaching for the unknown. Humans had always been underestimated. Here, in the presence of an alien queen, older than any human memory, he felt a strange sense of pride. The queen moved closer, her eyes fixed on him. Do not mistake your ordinary lives for weakness. Ordinary can be extraordinary when it faces the impossible. Carter nodded, understanding more than he expected. So, you believe humanity can survive in this galaxy? I do more than believe, the queen said softly. I know. Your species has potential others cannot see. I have watched from afar long before you had even reached the stars, and now the time has come for you to step forward. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Lieutenant Sanchez broke the silence. Commander, we should be careful. Other civilizations might not see humans as you do. Some might attack if they sense we're aligned with her. Carter's jaw tightened. I know. But we can't turn away now. This is bigger than us, bigger than Earth. Whatever the Queen wants, whatever her intentions are, we need to understand them. The Queen gestured toward the center of the chamber. A large circular platform rose from the floor, glowing with faint blue light. Come, she said. I will show you what has been hidden for eons. As they stepped onto the platform, Carter noticed the walls around them shifting. Holographic. Images appeared. Ancient battles, sprawling civilizations, and scenes of planets being shaped and destroyed. The deeper they moved into the cathedral, the more Carter felt the weight of history pressing around him. The walls whispered secrets in the faint hum of alien energy, and every step seemed to echo the lives of a civilization long past its prime. Humans were not meant to witness this, he thought. Yet here they were, walking through the remnants of a once great empire. The Queen led them into a grand hall, larger than anything Carter had ever imagined. Pillars rose like trees of crystal and light, branching upward into arches that seemed to hold the sky itself. Suspended platforms hovered in midair, carrying creatures that moved slowly in a state of timeless meditation. The air was thick with energy, alive with the faint pulse of machines and organs intertwined. This is my court, the Queen said softly. Once it was full of advisors, warriors, and scholars. Now, it is empty. I am alone, and my kingdom lies in fragments. Centuries of conflict, betrayal, and decay have left me with nothing but these walls and memories. Carter felt a pang of sympathy. To imagine such power reduced to whispers and shadows was humbling. He looked at the suspended figures, recognizing the truth in the Queen's words. They were neither dead nor fully alive, suspended between time, awaiting some unknown signal to awaken. Lieutenant Sanchez frowned. Commander, if she's so alone, why does she welcome us? Why humans? The Queen turned her gaze toward him, and for a moment her eyes seemed almost soft, almost vulnerable. Because I see something in you that my people lost long ago. Courage, curiosity, the will to act even when the odds are impossible. Your species carries a spark the galaxy has forgotten. Carter nodded slowly. He understood the weight of her words. Older civilizations had grown cautious, patient, and clever. But they had also grown stagnant, afraid to risk, afraid to change. Humanity, still young in the cosmic sense, had yet to learn such fear. The Queen led them to a central platform, a holographic map stretching across its surface. Planets, star systems, and fleets flickered into existence. Some worlds glowed with life. Others lay in shadow, abandoned. Lines of energy traced the movements of ancient fleets, the wars that had torn her empire apart. These are my enemies, she said, pointing to a cluster of darkened systems. Even now they watch. They sense my awakening. They will come. Carter's heart tightened. They will attack us. They may attack me, the Queen admitted, her voice calm but firm. Or they may try to destroy what little remains of my people. That is why your arrival is both dangerous and necessary. Humans are different. You act when others hesitate. You adapt when others fall. Sanchez whispered. We're small. Our fleet is tiny compared to this galaxy. How can we make a difference? Carter looked at her, determination hardening in his chest. That's exactly why we might succeed. We aren't weighed down by centuries of rules or fear. We improvise. We take risks. That is our strength. The Queen's smile deepened, a faint but radiant light in her eyes. Yes, that is why I chose to welcome you, not because you are powerful, but because you are unbroken. The galaxy has grown tired of the old ways. It is time for something new. It is time for humans to rise. Carter felt a strange mixture of pride and fear. Humanity had been thrust into the heart of galactic politics without warning. Yet he realized they could not turn away. The choice had been made for them. And now, they must rise to meet it. The Queen paused before a towering wall, etched with symbols that seemed to pulse with life. These glyphs contain the knowledge of my people, the strategies of our wars, the wisdom of generations. Few can read them, fewer can understand. But I sense that you might. Carter stepped closer, fascinated. You think we can learn from this? Not just learn, she replied. You can adapt it. Use it. Humanity does not simply copy the past. It transforms it. That is why I welcome you. That is why I believe in your potential. The crew moved cautiously through the hall, absorbing the sheer scale of the Queen's kingdom. It was magnificent, but fragile. The structures were beautiful, yes, but they were also relics, vulnerable to decay and attack. Carter realized that their mission was no longer simple exploration. They had stepped into a realm of responsibility, one where their actions could shape the fate of an entire civilization. Sanchez's voice broke the silence. Commander, what if we fail? What if we can't help her? Carter looked at the Queen, whose presence seemed to fill the room with calm determination. Then we try anyway. Humans don't back down because the odds are against us. That's who we are. That's why we're here. The Queen's eyes softened, a hint of warmth touching her usually regal gaze. Carter, you understand the weight of what I ask. There will be challenges, dangers beyond your imagination, but the galaxy has grown stagnant. Change is coming, and it may begin with you. For a moment, Carter felt the enormity of it all. Humanity, small and young, had been noticed by an ancient queen whose empire had spanned countless stars. And now, they were being called to act. It was terrifying and exhilarating. The Queen extended a hand, delicate and luminous. Walk with me further. See the depth of my people's knowledge, the tools that have lain dormant for centuries. Learn what you can, adapt what you must. Humanity may yet find a place among the stars if you dare to step forward. Carter stepped forward, glancing at his crew, who followed him with cautious determination. They were explorers, yes, but now they were something more. They were participants in a story far greater than any human had imagined. And in the quiet glow of the alien cathedral, they began to understand the truth of the Queen's words. The calm of the cathedral could not last. As the crew explored deeper into the Queen's court, the soft hum of energy around them began to change. Sensors on the horizon detected unusual readings, shifts in energy patterns that indicated movement beyond the walls. Carter frowned, sensing the tension in the air. They're coming, the Queen said, her voice steady but filled with gravity. Enemies who see weakness where there is strength. You must understand, humans. Your presence here has already altered the balance. They will not wait quietly for your departure. Lieutenant Mira Sanchez looked at him, concern written across her face. Commander, we're outnumbered, way outnumbered. Their fleets could wipe us out in minutes. Carter's jaw tightened. Then we fight smarter, not harder. That's what humans do. We survive by thinking, adapting, and risking what others won't. The Queen led them to a vast chamber where the cathedral's dormant defense systems lay dormant. Giant, crystalline towers hovering weapons and energy nodes hummed quietly, waiting to be activated. Carter ran his hands along a console, sensing the alien technology's complexity. It was unlike anything humanity had ever built. Yet somehow he felt he could understand it. These systems, the Queen explained, were designed for my people, but no one has dared to touch them for centuries. They require intuition as much as knowledge. You may be human, but your species possesses the spark to use them. Carter looked at his crew. You heard her. Let's see what we can. 2 hours passed in a blur of calculation, trial and error. The crew reconfigured the alien energy nodes, connecting them in patterns that lit the cathedral with radiant power. Weapons that had never fired in centuries now hummed with potential. Carter felt the thrill of creation and strategy, knowing they were about to wield power beyond imagination. Suddenly alarms blared. The enemy fleets had arrived, massive warships appearing just beyond the cathedral's protective energy field. They were unlike anything Carter had seen, sleek, jagged, and terrifyingly advanced. And yet, as the Queen watched, she seemed calm, almost proud. Your courage is what matters now, she said softly. You will act not as humans against aliens, but as humans who refuse to be ordinary. Your will is your weapon. Carter took a deep breath, issuing commands. Deploy the defenses. Activate the energy nodes. Focus on targeting their lead ships. Move fast, think faster. Remember, our strength isn't just weapons, it's our brains, our unpredictability. The enemy fleets advanced, firing energy blasts that shook the cathedral. But Carter's team was ready. Using the Queen's dormant systems, they redirected the blasts, creating barriers and traps. Ships that thought to attack were caught in intricate grids of energy, unable to maneuver. Sanchez grinned. They're walking right into it. They don't know what hit them. Carter's heart pounded. Humanity had never faced such danger. Yet he realized something important. Fear alone was not enough to stop them. Their ingenuity, their willingness to act boldly, gave them an edge no enemy could anticipate. The battle raged on, with waves of attackers striking from multiple directions. Each time Carter and his crew adapted, learning the patterns of the alien ships and exploiting weaknesses. The cathedral's energy nodes pulsed with every move, their hum synchronizing with the crew's determination. In the midst of chaos, the Queen observed quietly, her eyes shining with admiration. You do not merely fight, Commander, she said. You command with courage. This is what my people have lost, what the galaxy has forgotten, and yet here it is, alive in humans. Ours turned into a continuous dance of strategy and skill. Enemy ships that had once seemed unstoppable were destroyed or forced to retreat. The cathedral, once a passive structure, became a fortress powered by human ingenuity and the Queen's ancient knowledge. The aftermath of the battle left the cathedral humming with quiet energy. The halls that had once been empty now felt alive, charged with the potential of what had just occurred. Commander Elias Carter walked beside the Queen, sensing the magnitude of the moment. Humanity had survived its first test in the galaxy, and more than that, they had shown the courage and ingenuity that the Queen had predicted. You have done well, Commander, the Queen said softly, her luminous eyes fixed on him. But courage alone is not enough. The galaxy will watch you and they will test you again. You must be ready. Carter nodded. We will be. Humanity is not afraid to face what lies ahead. We may be small compared to other civilizations, but we do not back down. That is what makes us strong. The Queen's gaze softened, almost maternal, as she considered him. You speak truth. Your species has a spark that has been missing for centuries among older races. And it is for this reason that I must make a choice that will shape not only my people's future, but yours as well. Sanchez, still standing nearby, tilted her head. A choice? What kind of choice? Fu. Queen gestured to the holographic map of the galaxy. Lines traced the movements of distant fleets, territories under the control of rival factions, and planets rich with resources. These are my enemies, my rivals, and my allies, she explained. Many view my court as a relic, a powerless shadow of what was once great. Few have the wisdom or the courage to act decisively, but you, humans, you have shown both. That is why I must offer you a place beside me. Carter felt a mix of pride and uncertainty. A place beside you? You mean an alliance? Yes, the Queen said, her voice firm but gentle. I'm no longer the ruler of a strong empire. My court is fragile, my people dispersed. Yet the galaxy still respects strength. By aligning with you, I can rebuild what was lost, and humanity can take its first steps into a larger world. But it is your choice as well. You may return to your people and remain observers, or you may step forward with me. The decision will define the path of your species. Sanchez exchanged a glance with Carter. Commander, this is huge. If we go with her, humanity could gain allies, technology, knowledge, but we could also make enemies. This is bigger than anything we've faced before. Carter nodded slowly, thinking about the weight of responsibility. I know, but we've seen what humans can do when we take action, when we refuse to be ordinary. I believe this is our chance, not just to survive, but to grow, to become something greater than we imagined. The Queen's eyes glowed softly as if acknowledging his resolve. Then the choice is clear. Walk with me and humanity will step into the galaxy as a force to be reckoned with. Stand aside, and the opportunity may pass. Other races will continue to shape the galaxy without your input. Choose wisely, Commander, for your decision will echo through time. Carter took a deep breath. He thought of Earth, of the countless people who had dreamed of the stars. He thought of his crew, brave and willing to face the unknown. And he thought of humanity itself, a species small yet bold, curious, and resilient. We will go with you, he said finally. Humanity will take this step. We will learn, we will grow, and we will face the challenges together, not as visitors, but as participants in this galaxy. The Queen's lips curved into a faint smile, her eyes radiating warmth. Then it is decided. You are not merely welcome here. You are needed. Together we will rebuild what was lost, and perhaps together we will change the course of the galaxy. Sanchez exhaled, relief and excitement mingling in her expression. I can't believe this. We're actually going to work with an alien queen. And not just any queen, but one who has seen the rise and fall of civilizations. The Queen's gaze softened toward the crew. Your courage, your willingness to act despite uncertainty, has earned you a place beside me. I see in you the potential for greatness, and I entrust this future to your species. Treat it with care, with wisdom, and with courage. Carter felt the enormity of the moment pressing on his shoulders. This was more than survival, more than exploration. Humanity had been offered a chance to step fully into the galaxy, to leave a mark on history that no one could ignore. And with that chance came responsibility, the responsibility to learn, to grow, and to prove that the Queen's faith had not been misplaced. The Queen extended her hand, delicate and luminous, inviting him to stand beside her. Walk with me, she said. See the full extent of my knowledge, my people, and the tools that can help humanity rise. Together, we will face the challenges ahead. Together, we will show the galaxy what it means to be courageous, unbroken, and alive with purpose. Carter reached for her hand, feeling the strange warmth of energy radiating from her touch. It was not merely physical. It was a connection, a promise of partnership, of trust, and of shared destiny. As they walked through the cathedral, the Queen showed him chambers filled with knowledge preserved for centuries. Ancient maps of the eye, stars, weapons technology far beyond human design, and libraries containing wisdom from countless worlds. Carter could feel the potential in every corner, every artifact, every glowing glyph. Humanity had never been closer to the stars, to power, to understanding, and yet the path forward would require courage, wisdom, and perseverance. The Queen stopped before a large, suspended chamber where her people rested in suspended animation. These are my advisors, warriors, and scholars, she explained. Awakened, they would guide you, teach you, and fight alongside you. But they will not awaken unless they see purpose, courage, and strength in those who walk with me. You have proven yourselves, and now humanity has a place among them. Carter looked around, feeling the weight of the moment. They were standing at the threshold of history, a young species being entrusted with the future of an ancient civilization. He realized that the Queen's choice was not just about her people, it was about humanity, about the chance to rise, to leave a mark, to show that courage and determination could overcome even the oldest powers in the galaxy. The Queen turned toward him, her eyes shining with calm authority. "Remember this, Commander. Courage alone is not enough. You must act with wisdom, learn from every experience, and never lose the spark that makes your species extraordinary. If you do, humanity will endure, and perhaps even thrive." Carter nodded, understanding. "We will not fail. We will honor your trust, Your Majesty, and humanity will rise with you." The Queen's smile deepened. "Then it begins. Humanity's journey among the stars is no longer a dream. It is reality. Walk boldly and remember you are truly welcome." For the first time, Carter felt the weight of possibility as both a challenge and a gift. Humanity had been given a chance to shape the galaxy, not as observers, but as participants, allies, and pioneers. And in the quiet glow of the cathedral, beside an ancient queen who had seen empires rise and fall, he felt hope. Hope for his crew, for his people, and for the future that awaited humanity among the stars. The cathedral was alive with light, sound, and energy as humans and the Queen walked through its vast halls. For the first time, Carter felt the true scale of the partnership forming before him. Humanity was no longer merely a distant species watching from the sidelines. They were here, fully present, carrying with them hope, courage, and the spark the galaxy had forgotten. The Queen guided them to a chamber that stretched like a dome to the stars themselves. Glowing platforms rose and fell, holographic maps showing every system in the nearby sectors, every fleet in motion, every world waiting for change. "These maps are more than records," she explained softly. "They are possibilities. Every line, every fleet, every star can change depending on choices made by those brave enough to act." Carter felt the weight of responsibility settle in his chest. "We are ready," he said, glancing at his crew. "Humanity is ready." The Queen's eyes shone with a mix of pride and reassurance. "Then let us begin. There are worlds to guide, civilizations to influence, and threats that must be met with courage. Humanity will not merely survive in this galaxy, you will shape it." Sanchez stepped forward, her expression a mixture of awe and determination. "Commander, are we truly ready for this? The galaxy is vast, and there are enemies out there, far stronger than us." Carter smiled, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Strength isn't only in weapons, Lieutenant. It's in thinking, in courage, in the willingness to face the impossible. Humans have that in abundance. That is why we are here. That is why the Queen welcomed us." The Queen approached a suspended chamber where her people lay in stasis. One by one, the crystal-like pods opened, and alien figures rose, stretching limbs that had lain still for centuries. Advisors, warriors, and scholars emerged, their eyes blinking in recognition, confusion, and curiosity. They looked to the Queen, then to the humans standing beside her. "These are your allies now," the Queen said. "Treat them with respect, learn from them, and share your courage. Together you will shape a future that neither humans nor my people could achieve alone." Carter felt a thrill of awe. They were witnessing history, the rebirth of an empire with humanity at its side. And yet, the Queen's words reminded them that with this opportunity came responsibility. Every choice could alter the balance of power. Every action could have consequences far beyond their understanding.